Stress doesn't ask for permission. It hits you in the middle of a workday, during a late-night overthink spiral, or right when everything you planned starts falling apart. And what do most of us do? We react. We spiral. We snap at people. We drown in distractions. We blame the world. But the Stoics, they didn't play that game. They didn't control the world around them, but they mastered the world within them. And that's the difference between people who get crushed by stress and people who rise through it. Because here's the truth, you can't eliminate stress from life, but you can eliminate how much control it has over you. And that's where Stoicism comes in. Not as some ancient philosophy locked away in dusty books, but as a real-life, street-tested operating system for the mind. Especially when life gets chaotic. In this video, we're going to break down the 3 Stoic principles that don't just manage stress, they shrink it, they reframe it, and most importantly, they turn it into fuel. These aren't quotes to make you feel better. These are battle-tested tools to help you take back control. By the end of this video, you won't just have a few quotes to remember, you'll have a framework, a mental defense system, something you can use today whether you're dealing with burnout, heartbreak, financial chaos, or just the low-key stress of trying to be everything for everyone. This is your mind on Stoicism. No fluff, no fake positivity, just brutal clarity, real strength, and total ownership of your inner world. Let's get into it. Principle 1. Respond, don't react. You ever look back on something you said in the heat of the moment and think, "Damn, I shouldn't have said that"? Yeah, we've all been there. That's what happens when you react. Not respond, react. It's like your nervous system hijacks your mouth, your hands, your energy, and suddenly, boom, you've burned a bridge, escalated an argument, or made your stress 10x worse. And for what? See, the Stoics had this figured out centuries ago. They weren't just philosophers sitting around on marble floors. They were warriors, emperors, slaves, businessmen. These were people who lived in the trenches of life. They understood that you can't always control what hits you, but you can always control what hits back, and that's you. There's this gap, right between something happening and your response. The Stoics taught that inside that gap is your freedom, your power, your peace. But if you never slow down enough to notice that gap, you live life on autopilot. You react without thinking, feel without filtering, speak without reflecting. And that's a recipe for constant stress, regret, and broken relationships. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, literally the most powerful man in the world at his time, wrote this in his personal journal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let that sink in for a second. He didn't say try to fix the world, try to control the people, or try to manipulate every outcome. No, he said control your own mind, because that's where the war is. So what does this mean in real life? Let's say your partner says something that triggers you. It feels sharp, unfair, maybe even disrespectful. Every part of your body wants to fire back, raise your voice, shut down, prove your point. But in that split-second window, right there, you have a choice. You can be a slave to emotion, or you can lead it. And I get it. This isn't about being passive. This isn't let people walk all over you nonsense. This is about choosing your response with intention instead of emotion. It's about learning to pause, breathe, and own the moment instead of being owned by it. Let me give you an example. You're stuck in traffic. You're already running late. Some dude cuts you off like he owns the road. Now you can honk, curse, tail him with aggression and stew in that stress for the next 20 minutes. Or you can catch yourself, take a breath, realize this, that guy is gone. He's 5 cars ahead, living his life, probably doesn't even know you exist. But if you let his 5 seconds of carelessness ruin your next hour, that's not on him, that's on you. Responding instead of reacting means you don't give your peace away so cheaply. You stay grounded, composed, steady. And people notice that. In relationships, this creates trust. In conflict, it de-escalates tension. In leadership, it makes you magnetic. Here's a tactic you can start using today. When something triggers you, count to 5. That's it. 5 seconds before you respond. In those 5 seconds, ask yourself, is what I'm about to say helpful, honest, necessary, or am I just reacting out of ego, fear, or stress? And most of the time, you'll catch yourself. You'll find that the thing you were about to say didn't need to be said at all. Or maybe it did, but in a different tone, with different energy, at a different time. This is the discipline. It's not about suppressing how you feel. It's about making sure your feelings don't run your life. Because your feelings are temporary, but the consequences of your reactions, those can last days, months, years. The Stoics believed that internal control is the only true freedom. That real strength isn't loud, it's not aggressive. It's calm, it's measured, it's deliberate. When the storm hits, everyone else gets tossed around, but the Stoic stays centered. Because their anchor isn't out there, it's within. So next time you're stressed, hurt, offended, or overwhelmed, pause. Remember the gap, that sacred space between stimulus and response. That's where your character is built. That's where your power lives. And if you can master that, you don't just manage stress, you master yourself. Principle 2, control what you can, let go of what you can't. Here's the thing, most people are stressed, anxious, burnt out, not because life is too hard, but because they're spending every day fighting battles that aren't theirs to fight. They're trying to control people, outcomes, timing, approval, things that were never in their hands to begin with. And that's why Stoicism hits like a punch to the gut, but in the best way, because it tells you, some things are up to you, and some things are not. That's not a cute little quote from Epictetus, it's a damn operating system for life. Think about it. You can't control how someone feels about you. You can't control the traffic on the way to work. You can't control whether you get laid off tomorrow, whether your partner changes, whether the economy tanks. And yet, what do? We obsess. We micromanage. We overthink. We stress over every possibility, every detail, every what if, as if worry has ever changed the outcome. Let me give it to you straight. Worry is a terrible investment. It eats your energy, your peace, your focus, and gives you nothing in return. What the Stoics figured out, and what most people miss, is that control is limited, but effort is unlimited. Focus is unlimited. Response is unlimited. Let's break it down. Say you're in a relationship and the other person starts pulling away. Your first instinct? Panic. Why are they acting different? What if they leave? What can I say to fix this? You spiral. You become clingy, needy, reactive, because you're trying to control them. But here's the harsh truth. You can't. You can't control their feelings. You can't force love. You can't mind read your way into certainty, and every time you try to, you push them further away. What you can control, how you show up, how you speak, how you set your standards, how you choose to stay grounded, even in uncertainty. Or let's say you lose your job. You didn't see it coming. It wasn't fair. It hurts. The instinct is to ruminate, blame your boss, the company, the timing. But here's the hard truth. Again, the job is gone. That part is done. What now? That's the question Stoicism wants you to focus on. What now? You can sit in victim mode, or you can update your resume, reach out to contacts, upskill, adapt, adjust. That's where your power is, not in what just happened, but in what you do next. This mindset, it frees you, because when you finally accept what's not yours to carry, you stop wasting strength. You stop trying to force the ocean to be calm, and instead, you learn to surf the damn waves. That's not weakness. That's not passivity. That's focus. That's power. It takes discipline to say, okay, this sucks, but this is outside my control, so I'm going to pour my energy into what I can do. And this isn't just philosophy. This is real life. Let's talk about stress. So many people are chronically stressed, not because their lives are chaotic, but because their minds are. Because they're constantly reacting to things they can't control. Headlines, opinions, delays. People not texting back, plans changing. Imagine how much peace you'd gain if you just stopped. Stopped giving energy to things that don't care how you feel. Here's a habit I want you to start. Anytime you feel that spike of anxiety, frustration, or stress, pause. Ask yourself one question. Is this within my control? If the answer is yes, great. Take action. Do something, even one small step. If the answer is no, let it go. Release it. Literally say it out loud. This is not mine to control. Then redirect that energy towards something that is your breath, your posture, your words, your work, your self-care, your presence. That's the power of Stoicism. It makes life cleaner, simpler, sharper, because you no longer waste yourself on things that aren't yours. Let me leave you with this. Imagine if every time something happened, good or bad, you immediately filtered it through that lens. Can I control this? If yes, cool, let's go. If no, release. You'd be unshakable. You'd be grounded. You'd be calm in rooms where everyone else is losing their minds, and people would feel it, that quiet strength, that emotional self-sufficiency, that rare confidence that says, I don't need to control everything, just myself. And that's enough. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. That's not just philosophy, that's how you stop being a slave to stress and start becoming a master of your life. Principle 3. Shift your perspective. Stress doesn't just come from what happens to you. It comes from how you see what happens to you, the meaning you assign to it, the story you tell yourself when life doesn't go your way. And that's where the Stoics were light years ahead of most people today. They knew that suffering isn't just physical or external, it's mental. And that means you can change it, not by changing the world, but by changing how you look at the world. Seneca said it best. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about that. You're not just stressed about the thing itself, you're stressed about what you think the thing means. You get passed up for a job and suddenly it's, I'm not good enough. You get ghosted and it's, I'm unlovable. Your plans fall apart and you spiral into, nothing ever works out for me. But those aren't facts. Those are interpretations, and interpretations can be rewritten. This is where the Stoic principle of framing comes in. You take whatever's happening, and instead of asking, why me, you ask, what is this for? Because maybe the challenge isn't here to punish you. Maybe it's here to train you. Let's say you're dealing with financial stress. Bills are piling up. Income is low. Most people would panic, complain, blame. But the Stoic flips the frame. They say, okay, this is a test. Can I stay disciplined? Can I find new solutions? Can I grow sharper under pressure? Same with heartbreak. Instead of spiraling into, I lost something precious, you reframe it as, I'm being carved into someone stronger, someone clearer. This pain is sandpaper, rough, but it's refining me. That's what reframing does. It turns breakdowns into training arcs. It puts your pain in context. It makes stress feel earned, like a weight you're lifting, not a curse you're carrying. And this isn't some woo-woo feel-good trick. This is survival-level mental resilience, because life will hit you, people will betray you, things will go sideways. If you don't know how to reframe, you will break. But if you do, you become anti-fragile. You don't just survive the storm, you get better because of it. Here's the thing, stress is often a signal. It's a flare going off that says, hey, your current lens isn't working. So shift it, take a step back, zoom out, ask better questions. Instead of, why is this so unfair? Ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of, I can't handle this, ask, who am I becoming because I am handling this? Because the truth is, your mindset in hard moments, that's your real character. Not what you post when things are good, not what you say when life is calm, but what you do when it's not. The Stoics practiced this shift every day. Marcus Aurelius journaled through war, loss, and betrayal, reminding himself, this is fuel, this is nature, this is an opportunity to live with virtue. And that's another key, reflection. You've got to develop a habit of stopping and checking your thoughts. Don't just feel the stress, interrogate it. What's the root? What story are you telling yourself? Is it even true? Most of the time, we don't need our situation to change. We need our story to change. That's why journaling matters, not the fluffy kind, real mental self-defense. You write what's happening, what you're thinking, and then you attack it. You test it like a scientist. Is this belief useful? Is it true? Is it making me stronger or weaker? And once you've stripped away the drama, you can start building a better lens. One that sees the challenge not as a threat, but as training. Gratitude helps here too. Not in the toxic positivity sense, but in the disciplined sense of finding value in adversity. I didn't want this, but I can use this. That's the Stoic frame. That's power. And look, this doesn't mean faking happiness when you're hurting. It means stepping into the role of author. You don't just react, you rewrite. You don't run from the pain, you study it, use it, and let it forge you. In the end, this is what separates the stressed from the strong. Both feel the pressure, but the strong reframe it. Life's going to test you either way. Might as well let it sharpen you. So next time stress hits, don't just endure it. Don't just cope. Reframe, reclaim, rewrite the damn story. Because that's how you make stress your fuel, not your prison.